Hey ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 to What If Naruto Had the Good Half of the Nine Tails. So now where we left off in the last part, Naruto had defeated Kakashi in the bell test and taken the bells, and then they had done their D rank missions. Eventually they went to the Land of Waves for their C rank mission, and they pretty much went through all the different things up until they got to the bridge for their second confrontation, and that's where we're going to jump right back into things. A little bit of a side note, if you never did watch the first part, Naruto has pretty much full mastery over the Nine Tails and has KCM. So, let's jump right back into the what if. As Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi were heading towards the bridge, they now meet and have their second confrontation with Zabuza and Haku. With Sasuke not really getting much action in their first fight, he decides that he's gonna go and take on Haku, and Kakashi goes and he takes on Zabuza. Well, Naruto and Sakura stay back to guide the bridge builder in case they try to pretty much kill them while the other is distracted. So, with Sasuke's confrontation going exactly the same up until the point where he gets trapped inside of the ice mirrors, and obviously Kakashi's would go exactly the same at this point. So when Naruto actually jumps inside of the ice mirrors, and he's kind of getting a telling by Sasuke that you should have stayed outside so we could have done a collaboration attack on him. And now Naruto's like, I don't really care all that much. I can probably shatter each and every one of these mirrors with relative ease. And Sasuke is kind of like, what do you mean? You're that strong. Like, I can't do anything to these things. And Naruto kind of just activates KCM. And he punches one of the mirrors, instantly shattering it. But it regenerates itself before Naruto can pretty much walk out. So Sasuke is like, oh, I guess you can break them. But you can't break them fast enough. And Naruto now kind of just smiles and says, you do realize I can make chakra arms that are pretty much just as powerful as my real arms, you know that, right? And Sasuke's like, no. And Naruto pretty much sprouts tons of hands from his back, each of them punching a different mirror, shattering each and every one of them. And now Sasuke's like, oh, I guess you can do that. Haku felt the impact of this, and he now pretty much falls to the ground. He's like, what the fuck did this kid just do? And now Naruto's kind of just looking at him like, huh, lol. And now Naruto jumps at Haku, pretty much thinking that he's just going to end this fight quickly. He doesn't really need to pretty much make this last long. And he's about to pretty much deal the final blow to Haku before Haku disappears from his vision. And he appears in front of Kakashi as he was about to kill Zabuza. And obviously Haku gets Chidori through the heart, and now he falls to the ground, and Zabuza still does the same thing, where he's like, huh, you're such a good person to have following me, you just sacrificed yourself for me, good job. And now Naruto gets pissed at this, because he's just like, he followed you with everything he had. And now Zabuza still does the same thing, where he's just like, this is what the ninja world is. And this is where Naruto still gets his character arc, where he pretty much changes in, I don't even know what it's called. But he pretty much changes in the way that Naruto kind of knows more about what the ninja world is, rather than it just being some, like, training and having fun. Well, he knew it wasn't just having fun. But now he, like, really knows what ninja are in terms of they're kind of just, like, mercenaries, assassins. They're kind of just that. So now, Zabuza is about to actually pretty much get killed. And this is where the actual gang leader shows up, and he's pretty much just like clapping, and he's just like, good job, Zabuza, good job, thinking that he's just gonna walk in with all of his little mercenary people, that he can actually manage to take down these ninja, but he was gravely mistaken. So Naruto throws Zabuza his kunai, he catches it in his mouth, and he does the exact same thing he does in the original. And now it's pretty much the same thing. They lay Zabuza down next to Haku after he pretty much realizes that he did care for Haku and he liked him. And that pretty much goes exactly the same, except for Naruto had a lot easier time dealing with Haku than he did in the original, and Sasuke never really had to sacrifice himself to seemingly save Naruto. So now they head back to the village. And as they're heading back to the village, they are pretty much told by Kakashi that they should try out for the Chunin exams. And they decide that they're going to do so, and after a few weeks of pretty much not doing much and going around the village, training, doing all these different things, the Chunin exams actually begins, starting with the written portion of the exams. And due to Naruto being a lot smarter, due to having the Kurama teaching him, or Kurama inside of him teaching him all these different things, Naruto actually manages to pass, and he doesn't even have to cheat. He actually gets pretty high test scores. And now, the next part of the exams is the Forest of Death. And the beginning of the Forest of Death goes pretty much the same up until where Naruto has to go to the bathroom. And after he does go to the bathroom, the giant snake attacks. Naruto one-shots the snake and realizes that it's actually a summoning, and realizes that his teammates might be in danger. So he runs over to where Sasuke and Sakura are, and sees a pretty much impersonation of himself there. But before Sasuke can even really ask him, what's the password, Naruto appears out of nowhere, using the Nine-Tails chakra to make a chakra arm and pretty much slam Orochimaru across and saying, that's not me, you two. And now Sasuke and Sakura are like, oh, okay, well, we'll have to take on this dude then. So Orochimaru is looking at Naruto and he just realizes that was full mastery of the Nine-Tails chakra. Maybe I kind of want this body. As he goes and he tries to place a curse mark on Naruto, but Naruto kind of just slaps Orochimaru's head away with relative ease. And now Orochimaru's like, oh, he's actually kind of powerful too. And then he decides that he's going to try placing a curse mark on both of them. He starts with Sasuke just because it'll be easier for him, and Sasuke is pretty much incapacitated and out of the fight. Naruto activates KCM, and realizing that he has to put in at least a little bit of effort against this guy, and Orochimaru realizes that this kid is a perfect Jinchuriki, and that if he took his body, it would be really good. So now, Orochimaru pretty much lunges himself at Naruto, thinking that if he dealt a little bit of damage, Naruto wouldn't have the power required to actually manage to defend himself against the curse mark. But he was mistaken. He caught Naruto off guard eventually, and he actually manages to place a curse mark on Naruto, but it doesn't work. The curse mark pretty much gets counteracted and kicked off of Naruto by the Nine-Tails seal and pretty much the Nine-Tails itself. And Orochimaru was just like, oh, interesting. I kind of wanted to know how the Nine-Tails would react to this curse mark in any way, but I don't think I'm going to manage to put a seal on it. Now, Naruto pretty much lunges once again towards Orochimaru, and he's fighting on par with Orochimaru, but due to Naruto not being as strong as he was in Shippuden, when he was in his four-tail state, he is actually on the back ends of this fight, just because, again, Naruto is only like 12 at this point, and he's not exactly powerful enough to take down a Sannin. Like, he's probably as strong as Kakashi or Zabuza or something like that, but he's not quite to the level that Orochimaru is at just yet. At least, not yet, because once Naruto activates, like, KCM 2, which he hasn't done yet, he might very well be on par with what Orochimaru is right now. So now, their fight continues with Naruto on the back foot. Because at this point, Orochimaru just wants to weaken Naruto enough to the point where he could try to do the body swap. Because again, even though Naruto is pretty much weak because of how young he is, he knows that Naruto has insane potential. And he doesn't want Naruto to get too strong to the point where Orochimaru would pretty much get killed by him, because again, he's a perfect Jinchuriki of the strongest tailed beast. So he tries to pretty much steal Naruto's body, but it doesn't work. Naruto is just too overwhelmingly physically powerful. It's kind of like how Sasuke counteracted this as well. And Naruto doesn't actually get his body taken due to the Nine-Tails pretty much helping him and not allowing Orochimaru to enter his body. So now, Orochimaru decides he's going to leave, and he might just take Sasuke's body and then try weakening Naruto after he takes Sasuke's body by unlocking the Sharingan and the Mangekyo Sharingan. So they pretty much go under the tree again, except Naruto isn't knocked out and unconscious in this, because again, he has full control over the Nine-Tails and he didn't really get like exhausted by this fight just using KCM. So they go under the tree, and this is where the Sound Genin attack. And Naruto has absolutely no difficulty dealing with them, and he takes the scroll that they have. And now Lee was watching the fight between Naruto and the Sound Genin, and he actually kind of wants to challenge Naruto now, but he's not going to do that just yet. So now Naruto pretty much takes the scroll that the Sound Genin have, wakes Sasuke up, and pretty much leaves to go to the end of the exams. This time, though, they get there a lot faster, and everybody or pretty much Naruto, is completely unscathed by what was happening, because again, even if Naruto did take damage, he gets pretty insane regeneration from his Kyuubi cloak. So, he wouldn't really have any trouble with regenerating. And Gaara sees Naruto and senses the pretty much tailed beast inside of him. And Naruto does the same thing, but he knows that Gaara probably isn't like a perfect Jinchuriki like he is, sensing the amount of bloodlust and hatred coming off of him. So he pretty much walks up to Gaara and asks his name. Gaara does the same and realizes that Naruto would probably be the biggest challenge coming up in this pretty much battle. So now, they pretty much continue on, walking through the Chunin exam, final area, and this is where Lee challenges Naruto to a pretty much taijutsu brawl. And now Naruto is like, okay, sure, why not? And Naruto at the start is fighting in base form, and he's doing pretty much just as well as Sasuke was when he had his Sharingan activated. But Naruto again is on the back foot of this battle. Up until the point where Naruto activates KCM and is fighting completely with ease, blocking every attack, launching counters against Lee, and actually he's doing really well. And Lee decides that he might fight Naruto in the finals, and that's where he would use either the gates or his, either the gates or taking off his weights. He might actually be able to take down Naruto, at least that's what he thinks. So now, it's pretty much the start of the preliminary rounds of the Chunin exams, and I'm going to change up the actual sequence of the battles. Instead of Naruto fighting Kiba, he would actually fight Lee, and Kiba would fight Gaara. And Kiba obviously gets completely wrecked by Gaara, but the Lee-Naruto fight is actually quite interesting. Immediately, Lee takes off his weights, knowing that he wouldn't really be a match for Naruto at this point, and Naruto activates his KCM, and he and Lee are fighting, but Naruto has a very obvious edge in this battle due to having KCM. And using his pretty much chakra arms and all these different abilities, he's easily managing to almost knock Lee out with almost every single punch of his. Up until Lee starts activating the gates, first, then second, then third, and then finally, Lee activates the fourth gate, and he begins fighting Naruto completely on par now, actually managing to pretty much outspeed him. Naruto still has the edge in physical power and, punching force, but Lee has a great edge in the fact that he's probably faster than Naruto at this point, and he's actually managing to land a few good hits on Naruto, making Naruto kind of not necessarily feel any fear, but feel a little bit more excitement that this is the first challenge he's had to deal with in a good while. So now, Naruto is fighting pretty much on par with Lee. And Lee activates the fifth gate. Did Lee go to the sixth? I don't know. I'm gonna say Lee activates all the way up to the sixth gate, the Gate of Joy, and he's now pretty much wrecking Naruto. Naruto is getting sent flying back and forth, and he's not managing to pretty much take down Lee. And Kurama pretty much tells Naruto, he's just like, Naruto, there is a greater power that you can accomplish if we completely work in synchronization, as Kurama then holds out his fist. Naruto then fist bumps Kurama, and Naruto activates KCM2. And Naruto gains a massive edge in this fight now. At first, when Naruto activates KCM2, he just disappears from everybody's vision and appears right in front of Lee, punching him in the gut. Lee gets sent flying backwards by this, but he's still standing. And their battle continues on, but Naruto has a massive edge in this battle now, even though Lee is using the sixth gate. Naruto isn't like Gaara in the way that he'd almost kill Lee and try killing him, so he manages to pretty much make Lee stop, or he knocks him out and leaves him on the ground. Naruto pretty much does what all the Dragon Ball characters do if somebody's much weaker than them. He just kind of neck chops them, knocking them out. And Guy is watching this, and he's just that Naruto, his taijutsu is completely unbelievable. So now All the other fights go exactly the same, with Sakura stalemating Ino, and Sasuke winning against the chakra-absorbing guy. But that doesn't really make too much of a difference, because again, Sasuke can't really use ninjutsu in this battle. So now, the 1 month gap happens. And Naruto goes off and he trains with Jiraiya, getting complete mastery over KCM2, being able to activate it at any point, and he gains a little bit more endurance with it, actually making it last a little bit longer. And he then teaches Naruto the Rasengan. And he doesn't really see a point in teaching Naruto the summoning jutsu, because Naruto would be much stronger than any summoning he would have, other than like Gamabunta, maybe. Even then he'd be pretty much on par with him. So now, the next pretty much parts of the exams are going to happen, with Naruto learning a few different techniques, such as the Rasengan, and Naruto can make the Rasengan with one hand, and he can also make tailed beast bombs now. So now, the last part of the Chunin exams is going to happen, and the fights, I'm going to say, happen slightly differently. And the first fight that happens is Naruto versus Gaara. And I'm going to say this happens just to simply say because it'd be two Jinchuriki fighting each other, and everybody kind of wants to see this, so they kind of like changed up what they were drawing, and they were like, So now, Naruto starts fighting Gaara. Initially, Naruto just activates KCM2 because it drains less of his pretty much power, and it would let him be able to pretty much last longer in this battle. So Naruto, again, starts just by activating KCM2, and he's easily, completely wrecking Gaara at this point, with Naruto easily outspeeding him and punching harder than what Lee was doing in the 6th gate. Naruto is pretty much managing to take down Gaara with little to no difficulty at all. Up until Gaara pretty much goes to the point where he partially transforms into the Two Tails. But this still isn't enough to manage to pretty much, or it's enough to challenge normal KCM Naruto, but, again, Naruto is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, which is where it is the strongest of the tailed beasts, other than the 10 Tails, obviously. So Naruto is still managing, even in just base KCM, or not base KCM, but KCM, just to take out Gaara. And Gaara, now even more bloodlusted, even more everything, he is about to fully transform. And Naruto now sprints forward. And he is using now all 5 chakra natures, and he pretty much uses exactly what Jiraiya did, and he tightens the seal on Shukaku. Reverting the transformation, and Gaara now is lying on the floor, out of chakra, or not out of chakra. I don't know if he'd be out of chakra, but he's exhausted, and he's lying on the floor as he gets knocked out, and he pretty much thanks Naruto, because he's just like, he helped me. He tightened the seal, making my life easier, now that I don't have to deal with the One Tails constantly, the hatred, the bloodlust, the everything. So, Gaara still pretty much changes in his right, and now, the next fight to happen is Sasuke versus Neji. Now, this fight happens because obviously Naruto didn't fight Neji. So now, with Sasuke pretty much having 2 Tomo Sharingan, he is fighting pretty well on par with Neji, but he's getting really pissed off by Neji's, oh, you have to be born with this, you have to be born with that, you have to, the fate is set in place, and you can't do this because you were born a failure. So Sasuke, getting more and more and more pissed by this, actually ends up activating the 3 Tomo Sharingan, and now he's making Neji fight completely on the back burners, actually managing to pretty much almost take him out with just a simple punch. And now with his reaction speed increased by a great deal, he easily manages to react to all of Neji's punches and all of those different things. And Neji doesn't even have a chance just because of the sheer speed of Sasuke to use his 64 palms technique. So now Sasuke actually wins this fight, and even if he did pretty much manage to get the 64 palms off on Sasuke, Sasuke would have activated the curse mark, and that kind of like how Naruto activated his Kyuubi chakra, it gives him chakra, So it would have pretty much counteracted that. Kind of like how Naruto counteracted it in the Chunin exams in the original. So Sasuke would win this battle. And the following people get promoted to Chunin, being Sasuke, Neji, Shikamaru, and Naruto. I'm gonna say Gaara doesn't get promoted to Chunin just because he doesn't like have the full control over the tailed beast. I'm gonna say he does because Naruto pretty much tightened the seal on him, making it easier for him to control himself in like battles and bloodlust and everything like that. And Gaara becomes like the person he did like after, where he could pretty much control Shukaku at this point, where it doesn't like affect him as much. So now the Chunin exams is over, and that's where I'm going to leave this part off. So I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out. Bye.